Let's be real. Everyone says that long distance is a death sentence for a relationship. The miles they claim will always lead to jealousy, loneliness, and an inevitable soul crushing breakup. Your friends give you the look, your family has its doubts. Society basically pats you on the head and tells you it's a cute placeholder for a real relationship. But what if that's a lie, a total myth? What if the very thing that's supposed to rip you apart is actually the secret to building an unbreakable bond? A connection so deep it makes couples who share a couch look fragile. In this video, we are going to bust the myths about distance and show you how to build a connection that's stronger than you ever thought possible. All right, let's tackle the biggest lie right out of the gate: the idea that long distance relationships aren't real relationships. This comes from an old school way of thinking where love is measured by how much time you spend in the same room. If you don't share a physical space, you can't possibly share a life, right? Wrong. Commitment, respect, and real affection are so much more important than sharing a zip code. Think about it. We run entire careers remotely, build whole communities online, and keep friendships alive across continents. So, why do we think love has a mileage limit? The truth is, a relationship's success depends on the people in it, not their proximity. In fact, studies often show that long distance couples report higher levels of dedication and relationship quality. The bond is often stronger because of the distance, not in spite of it. Now, this doesn't mean it's a walk in the park. Recent data shows that 34% of people in LDRs deal with a significant anxiety about their reunion plans. So the struggle is real, but the core commitment is there. The idea that your love is somehow less valid is the first piece of trash we need to throw out. Loving committed relationship is real, whether you're 10 miles or 10,000 miles apart. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room: cheating. The story goes that if you are not there, someone else will be. Distance, so they say, is just an open invitation for your partner to stray. This is probably the most toxic myth of them all because it's a massive oversimplification. Cheating is a choice. It's about a person's character and their values, not their GPS coordinates. Someone who is going to be unfaithful will do it, whether their partner is in the next room or another country. Studies show LDRs aren't necessarily more prone to infidelity. We can't ignore that the fear is a huge factor. In fact, about 45% of people in long distance relationships say jealousy is a primary source of stress. The fear of cheating isn't really about the distance, it's about a lack of trust. And here's the twist: a good long distance relationship doesn't weaken trust, it forges it into a superpower. And I'm sure you'll agree with me. Every day you're apart, you are consciously choosing to trust your partner, and they are choosing to trust you. It's an active daily decision that builds a bond so much more intentionally than for many couples who see each other every day. It's not the distance that breaks you, it's a weak foundation of trust that couldn't handle the weight. And if this video is helping you find some clarity, please take a second to hit that subscribe button. We are all trying to figure this stuff out. And my goal here is to give you the tools to build a relationship that can go the distance. This leads us to the secret weapon of LDRs. We are forced to become master of communication. When you live with someone, it's easier to get lazy. You can use a hug to end an argument you never really resolved. You can rely on physical intimacy to feel close when you haven't truly connected on an emotional level. The simple fact of being in the same house can replace the act of truly showing up for each other. You don't have that luxury in a long distance relationship. You can't just roll over and kiss them goodnight after a tense conversation. You have to use your words. You learn to explain your feelings, your fears, and needs with total clarity because your time together is gold. This is how you build deep emotional intimacy. You learn to listen not just to the words, but to the tone, the pauses, and everything left unsaid. Research shows LDR couples often have more frequent and meaningful talks to make up for the lack of physical presence. Of course, it isn't always simple. For the 67% of international LDRs, just navigating time zones is a major hurdle. But that effort, that pure intention, is exactly what builds a bond that doesn't need physical touch to survive. Here's a counter-intuitive truth. One of the biggest strengths of a long-distance relationship is the independence it demands. So many relationships crumble because the people in them lose themselves. They blend their lives so completely, they forget who they are on their own. Distance makes that impossible. It forces you to have your own life, your own friends, your own hobbies, and your own goals. You aren't just one half of a couple, you are a whole person choosing to be in a relationship with another whole person. That is incredibly healthy. It stops codependency in its tracks and creates a dynamic where two fulfilled people come together to share their lives, not two empty people trying to complete each other. This space is a catalyst for personal growth. You become a better problem solver because you have to handle things on your own. You need a strong social circle, which is critical for mental health. And when you finally see your partner, you bring a full, exciting life to the table. You have more to talk about and a deeper appreciation for each other because you both have rich, independent lives. The relationship is a beautiful part of your life, not the whole thing. So, what about intimacy? Is a long distance relationship just a sexless friendship with extra steps? Absolutely not. That idea completely misunderstands what intimacy is. Intimacy isn't just physical, it's emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. Long distance couples often become experts at these other forms of intimacy that couples who live together might overlook. You get creative. You send care packages that are basically inside jokes in a box. You write actual letters. You leave long, rambling, heartfelt voice notes for them to wake up to. You learn each other's love languages and find clever ways to speak them across the miles. You build anticipation, making the countdown to the next visit a thrill that keeps the romance electric. And when you are finally together, you don't waste a single second. That time is sacred. You aren't distracted by chores or boring routines. You are 100% present, soaking in every moment. That intense appreciation can make a single weekend feel more connecting than months of sharing a house. This is probably the most important part. A long distance relationship needs a light at the end of the tunnel. The distance has to be a temporary state, not a permanent one. This doesn't mean you need a ring and a mortgage tomorrow, but you do need a plan. This is what separates the couples who make it from those who drift apart. You have to be actively working towards closing the distance. This means having the serious, practical conversations. Who will move? What's a realistic timeline? What career and life stuff needs to be figured out? These talks aren't always fun, but they are vital. They turn the relationship from a passive state of waiting into an active process of building. It's also key to manage your expectations for when you finally close the gap. It's a classic trap to think that once you're in the same city, every problem will vanish. But closing the distance isn't the finish line, it's the start of a brand new chapter with its own unique learning curve. The couples who make it are the ones who see it not as the final solution, but as the next beautiful, challenging step on the journey they're building together. Look, the journey of a long distance relationship is proof that love is about intention, trust, and a fierce commitment not proximity. It's tough, no doubt, but the rewards are incredible. You build a foundation that can survive anything. But now I want to hear from the real experts, and that's you. Yes, you watching right now and listening. For everyone watching who is in a long distance relationship, what is your number one tip that has made all the difference? Drop it in the comments below. Let's build a community resource to help everyone who is loving across miles. And if this video hits home, give it a like and subscribe for more content that challenges how we think about relationships. So, does distance kill connection? It's a lie. But it's a lie with a kernel of truth because distance is a magnifying glass. It will expose the cracks in a fragile relationship and shatter it, but it will amplify the strengths in a solid one and make it unbreakable. It forces you to communicate with purpose, trust with courage, and love with creativity. And it also helps you express yourself better in a positive way. It teaches you how to be independent while being completely devoted. Don't ever let anyone tell you your love is less real because of the miles. The truth is that the space between you isn't an obstacle, it's an opportunity to grow on a personal level and to grow collectively. Remember, it's a co created relationship. It's an opportunity to build a bond so strong, so deep, and so resilient that when you finally close that distance, nothing in the world will be able to tear you apart. So, my LDR warriors, remember, express yourself, be creative, express your love, be yourself, be truthful, and find ways to communicate as much as possible. Let's make this work. Thank you.